Hello and welcome everyone back to yet another episode of Red Cape Sports. My name is Bird Bouchard and my goodness is the soccer world, soccer card market ever on fire. And today I'm going to be going back into the past about a month ago, because about a month ago I made a video of my top 5 soccer card investments, and believe it or not, a bunch of people actually had the dang nerve to comment in the comments section saying, nobody cares about soccer, these are terrible picks. I'm going to go over exactly how those card picks have done in 30 some odd days, okay? Starting with number one. Number one, I told you all to buy Kellyanne Mbappe. For those of you who don't know, obviously he didn't win the Champions League, but regardless, I told you all, buy his Prism card. It's raw, it's $100. If you have the money, buy it. Sure enough, that $100 investment is now worth 700 Canadian dollars. Not too shabby. Conversely, in the same video, I also said, if you can afford it, and if you have a PSA 10, if you want a PSA 10, it's $700, but go ahead and do it. What's that card going for now? Ding, ding, ding. Survey says $3,000. So again, guys, I have no idea how, just based on that pick, in the matter of a month, that type of ROI, how that was a dumb video. But, I'm going to go on to pick number 2. So my second pick was Jaden Sancho. Jaden Sancho's an absolute beast. He's a stud. He finds the back of the net. And obviously, he has all of those assists. I told you all that you could buy his raw optic for $40, okay? That $40 a month ago was $40. But today, if you wanted to sell it, you'd be getting a return of around 120 Canadian dollars. Okay, so far, not too shabby. We have Mbappe, we have Sancho. But I'm going to keep going, okay? Our third pick was Erling Holland. Needless to say, $25 is now worth $200. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. That is some crazy ROI return. Pick number 3 was my personal favorite, still is, Timo Werner. So Timo Werner recently signed with Chelsea FC, and as predicted, that would see his card prices shoot off like in a Tesla or in a SpaceX to the moon. And that's exactly what happened. Yeah, it just shot up, right? Out of nowhere. We don't even know what happened, okay? I told you all, buy his raw Prism World Cup card. At the time, it was $25. Ding, 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 ding. Today, it's worth 110 Canadian dollars. Wow, you kind of get the point. My picks did quite well. And last but certainly not least was Marcus Rashford. I told you all, Man U, they love this kid. Raw Prism, $25. Bam. Today, it's worth 100. Okay, so that's... I guess in a way it's gloating, but it's more so just to say, stop the keyboard warriors from smashing down comments saying that, don't make a video because you don't know what you're talking about. Because the reality is, the amount of research that Mitch and I do into these videos is insane. We're trying to help you out as much as possible, right? And we're not really asking for anything back in return. So for those keyboard warriors out there, regardless of what I say or what I do, they're gonna be out there. But, this video is just to say, you could have purchased these. I wasn't telling you to buy them, but I was saying, hey, you know what? It's a good option, and ultimately, you could have some good money right now had you purchased those cards. Okay, guys, but that's not where this video ends. So the Premier League is starting September 12th. So my Arsenal Gunners, we did pretty well, not gonna lie, for the FA Cup, because we won that. But the regular season wasn't too hot. But it doesn't matter, because today I'm also going to give you all my top 5 EPL investments, as you all can see by the title of this video. So, number 1. Man, I gotta tell you, I knew who this guy was, but I didn't truly know how great he was until my sister's fiance, who was born in Cairo, Egypt, told me, hey Bird, this guy's a stud. So shout out to you, Dr. Ryan Ahmed. All right. Yes, Dr. Ryan Ahmed. All right, so Mohamed Salad, 28 years old, plays for Egypt and Liverpool, okay? 19 goals, 10 assists. Obviously, he's a stud. He can find the back of the net, and he can also help out his team. Liverpool, they end up winning the EPL, first time in 35 years. so good on them. But here's why I like his card. So he actually had the most shots on goal by a significant margin last season. And honestly, he's the leader of Liverpool. I really don't see that stopping anytime soon. And guys, that's why I kind of mentioned all the picks previously, because we've saw the growth, right, of all those cards. Well, guess what? Today, I don't even know what day we are today, August 24th, as of the filming of this episode. You can buy his Raw Prism World Cup card. I believe it's 2018. I believe so. It's $50 to around $70 depending on where you can buy it on eBay. Raw ungraded Canadian, $50 to $70. My opinion, not too shabby, and you might want to consider picking one up. Okay, so we'll move on to number 2. Number 2, this is honestly one of my favorites, okay? First and foremost, this guy's really young. He's just 23 years young, and he plays for Brazil as well as Man City. So both of those teams have a legitimate case every year at winning the EPL, and every 4 years, let's say, with a World Cup title. So Gabriel Jesus. Gabriel, yes, I know it's pronounced Jesus. He's not Jesus, but Gabriel Jesus, okay? 14 goals, 7 assists. Not too shabby. I mean, when you look at the top tier, I believe it was 22, 23 goals, which was the highest. So for 14 goals and 7 assists for a 23-year-old, not too shabby, and he's playing on a great team. And the best part right now for his prisms, and again, these prisms specifically in soccer, basketball, doesn't matter what sport, prisms have done very well in terms of growth. Well, I'm here to tell you all that right now, here today, you can buy a raw prism for around $30 Canadian. Again, do with this knowledge as you will, but if I were you, I'd at least be looking into picking one up. Alright, pick number 3. Now, I get it. I've done videos saying, oh, invest in raw young talent, and I'm about to give you guys yet another older soccer player. But to that, I'm going to say, listen, Ronaldo and Messi, they're up in age. They're nearing 35, 36 years old. So does it really matter that I'm going to mention a 29-year-old player this season in Kevin De Bruyne? Not so much. And to make matters worse, he's actually a midfielder. But guys, honestly, you can make a case that Kevin De Bruyne is a top 5, top 10 player, footballer, soccer player in the entire world. Okay, now why do I say that? Well, Belgium, not a bad national team, but more specifically, Man City. Not a bad EPL team, consistently at the top of the ranks. Now the thing about Kevin De Bruyne, 13 goals, and get this, I believe it's an EPL record for a single season, 20 assists. So not only can this man find the back of the net, he's also setting up his teammates, 20 assists. Very, very, very impressive, specifically for a midfielder. And right now, I was actually shocked to find this out. I'm not saying he's Kellyanne Mbappe level by any means, because at one point you could buy him for $100. But today, for a midfielder who's playing some of the best football of his life, you can buy his Prism World Cup Raw card for around $85 Canadian, give or take. Again, guys, not too shabby. All right, so we're going to move on to pick number 4. So pick number 4 is a young 25-year-old guy, we'll call him young, right? Still got a lot of potential. Obviously, like I mentioned before, we saw what older soccer players are capable of doing. But this guy, just 25 years old, Raheem Sterling. I'm a huge fan of Raheem Sterling. Obviously, plays for the national team of England. England, obviously, they're always going to be contenders because they're always going to produce soccer players who can defend and put the ball in the net. Yeah, maybe they need a better goalkeeper, but, I'm sure the keyboard warriors are going to smash me for that one as well. But regardless, guys, he finds the back of the net. I believe he had 20 goals. So 20 goals, not too shabby whatsoever in the EPL, okay? And to make matters even better, you can find his Prism World Cup card for $45 Canadian. And guys, I get it, these cards, compared to all the other sports cards that I typically mentioned, you can pick up this card for less than $10. Well, the reality is the soccer market is currently hot, and these prisms are hot, but $50 or less for most of these cards, actually I believe all of them so far have been under $100, not a bad buy. So that's option number 4. Alright, So there's going to be a lot of you who are going to go off on me and say, oh, you know, pick number 5. Is he actually in the EPL? Is he not? Well, just this morning, okay, pick number 5 in Kai Havertz, or Kai Havertz, however you want to pronounce him. He just recently has been, you know, tied to all these Chelsea FC news. 175 or 181 million pounds or dollars, whatever it is, it doesn't even matter. The reality is, it looks like he's headed to Chelsea, and that's why he made my list for top 5 EPL players to buy. Okay, so this man's just 21 years old. Obviously, we saw what people 21 years or younger are able to do. We saw what Mbappe could do winning the World Cup. And most recently, shout out to a Canadian, Alphonso Davies. Okay? He also won the Champions League. Well, Kai Havertz, 21 years old, plays for Germany, so in his future, he's obviously got the potential to even win a World Cup. Certainly, Germany is a very, very strong national team. The recent news says that he's going to be playing for Chelsea FC, signed him for, you know, basically $100 million or £1 million, however you want to go about that. But here's why I like him. I'm a strong believer that Chelsea FC is going to find the back of the net a bunch of times this upcoming season. They just added Timo Werner. Captain USA, Christian Polisik, is playing out of his mind. And now you're going to add Havertz? Guys, this is crazy. Last season, he had 12 goals, 6 assists. Not too shabby whatsoever for a 21-year-old. I feel like you're going to add him with so many other strikers and wingers who are capable of feeding him the ball. And conversely, he's able to feed them the ball for assist. This guy is going to find the back of the net in one way, shape, or form a bunch of times. And the best part, guys, $50 raw ungraded for his Donruss rated rookie. Because the other cards are just a bit too valuable in my opinion. But this card's got some serious room for growth potential. Well, guys, there you have it. I went over my top 5 cards from a month ago, and now I'm giving you 5 more cards. Do with this information as you will, but all I gotta say is, last time, those keyboard warriors were wrong. So thank you all so much for watching. Take care.